I
Same mistake.
get confused with it.
All right, no problem. Recording is on, guys.
So yeah, this is the database, and I also made some database for another
No,
course
no, no.
that is there.
Classic. Have you imported the data?
The data for the project.
For
No,
the
last
previous.
time, last time I show some kind of integration of MySQL and import our
Yeah,
files.
I did. I tried that. I asked you in the last class that I was trying it,
Hmm.
and it was denying the access. I don't know why it was giving an error. I
Okay,
can show
okay.
you again.
Yeah. What issues you are facing, please tell me, so that I can
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, I
Was
will
it?
show you. Wait a minute.
Was it? Stay there. We are looking into your screen here. Yeah. So you have done the installation, but you have not imported the data. It's fine. No problem. Good. Anybody else want to share before Harsh? You can say what is our agenda, Harsh, today? What we are taking them
Today,
as
first,
we have
yeah,
done the installation. Yeah. Go ahead. You can kick off actually. Yeah. Wasik,
yeah.
good job. Thank you so much. Yeah.
So we do a last session revision, means in a bit, so that they can revise what we did on last session, means all setup and everything. And after that, we'll move into the AWS computing, and we'll check it out, differentiate between traditional computing and AWS computing. And after that, we'll work on AWS and SQL and Jupyter Notebook.
Do we have some steps written somewhere in the PPT or somewhere?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
we are
I already, yeah, yeah.
can you just start from there and just let everybody clear? And we're not going to leave in the middle the installation. We need to continue what we need to do next. Maybe importing data or the last week video, right? So
Yeah.
they reached halfway actually, correct? They reached halfway. They didn't import the data. Yeah.
So this is a steps, okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, you need to convert your data. Here I give.
Are you sharing the screen?
Yeah. Yeah. He's sharing. I can see that. Sumit, people can see that. Others can
Okay,
see.
okay.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
can see that.
Sorry.
No
So
problem.
Yeah.
here,
Okay, I can see now.
Yeah.
yeah. So here is your here. Sorry. So this is our PPT. You can check it out with your PPT. First of all, to work with our data of MySQL and analyze the data in Jupyter Notebook. If you have already a SQL file, it's okay. You don't need first step. If you don't have SQL file, so my sound is echo. So
Somebody
can you?
has to, maybe me.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
what is SQL? Which SQL file we are talking today? We didn't talk anything SQL file yesterday, last week. Though
No,
we start talking SQL file.
we talk about SQL file. We converted a CSV to MySQL format, right?
CSV, not SQL.
Yeah, CSV to MySQL. If you have a MySQL
Mhm.
format file already, so you don't need to convert your CSV to MySQL file. You just directly dump your data from MySQL file. Else, if you want to wish your CSV file and work on SQL, MySQL, so you need to follow this first step. Okay.
And
So
we given them the data of the file.
yeah, I already given that
Okay,
CSV
okay, good,
files,
good. I'm just asking.
electronics.csv,
Okay,
and
good.
so many of projects I given, and there I already give a in folder in projects also. There's so many of data. So if they want to work with SQL, so they need to convert CSV to SQL format so
See,
that they
Harsh,
can.
why I'm asking is because this is the project and this is the steps we started from last week about MySQL, right? So, do they know which data file we are referring to?
Yeah,
Of course, they can
electronics.csv.
pick anything, right? They have so
Yeah,
far
they
four
can pick.
files.
They can pick anything. I give a
But
sample
but we
of
but we give them. Oh, you given them the sample, right?
I given them the sample, and in project as well I gave them so many of data files.
Yeah, no, we don't need to give them so many of data files. Each
Means
project we need to give
yeah,
them that data, the file, the notebook, and the installation steps.
yeah,
Last time you sent to Amna and we put in the folder. Is those all? I don't want to hear so many things because then we confusing. We need to give each group whatever they required from you. You have given already. Is anything additional we are talking, or those are the things? Guys, Awaz, Noeen, leads, right? Did you check anything missing? Because I seen a few people were talking about which data, what data. So I just want to make it clear. Harsh is here. You can ask question which data to use, which projects. Make sure you guys are clear which data you are using in your project and what is your project and what the ingredients or requirements there. If you are clear, it means you're really good because you will be working on the project. If you're not clear, ask please question.
Everything is clear.
Excellent. Okay, go carry on. What about others?
I did check the data files. They are pretty much clear, but yeah, there are many files. Uh, there are some files with the same data. Then others have some other purpose also. Like some files are for 2008 year, and some are for 2018 year. And also some of the questions require that. So I can understand there. Then we need multiple files for the project. But I have some questions for the project, like for example, there is a question that what features are associated with better fuel economy. For that, we have to set a certain scale by ourselves that this much fuel average is the better fuel average.
Yeah, we're not talking to the results, Vasik. Do you understand all the data, the need?
Yeah, I did understand
That's the
that. There's
question.
no problem. Yeah, there's no problem in that.
Okay, good. If you guys are good, I'm good. Yeah, carry on, Harsh.
Then second step, you need to install your MySQL. You already did it. This installation. So even I prepared a SQL installation windows. This file name, so you can check it out in Google Drive also. Okay. Then when you did both of the things, when you format your CSV to
Sorry, this
MySQL.
file, these PPT slides been saved in Google Drive, or you will save that? Because I'm looking
No,
into
no,
Google Drive.
this PPT I will give by today.
Oh, you
With,
give, okay, never
yeah.
mind.
But we have given these steps already, Harsh, Ali. Installation MySQL. This is a full step what Harsh given to us, and then we put in the
It's in Google Drive.
This file already given to you, but this file what I'm showing you right now, it's not in your PPT. It's not in your Google Drive. Today I will give it to you. Okay.
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 So then we are talking additional thing right here. Number
Yeah.
2 is something additional. What are you doing? Install MySQL in operating system step. MySQL in operating system step already on SQL installation, Windows, doc, follow that. What that mean, Harsh? What this statement mean, number 2?
I already given this this 1 second. This document to everyone, right? How to install
Yeah,
last time, how to
exactly.
install MySQL Workbench.
I agree.
Uh,
I agree.
yeah.
I agree. But you said
So
I will be giving you in this file again today. What is that file? Doc.
this file, this is not a this file already shared you doc file, but this PPT file I didn't share to
No,
anyone.
number. I'm talking about number 2. Number 2. What we are talking about? Number 2, right?
Yeah, number 2, this is a
We had
file.
given them these documents, SQL installation window docs, right?
Yeah, I already shared this,
Very
but
good.
I
Then
yeah,
when I asked, do we need to get this document? You said I will be giving tonight. No, we have given already, right?
yeah.
So
And
number
in
2
which
is
folder?
everybody
Sorry,
is
which
clear, right?
folder is that? Because I'm looking into that. In which folder this been saved?
Okay, Harsh, you just go to Google Docs. You have access.
It's
One
in the
second.
group project folder. It's in the group project, bro.
No, group
Yeah,
project.
hold on. People were very confused. I think you guys leads didn't do a really good job. You showed all your team member where the stuff is sitting. Harsh, Ali, Amna did great job. They put everything in the proper documentation. I watched it. I look into it. I validated.
I
But
found
you
it.
guys not clear your
Found it.
team. For example, Ali, which team you belong to?
I'm with Moin.
Yeah. Okay. So good.
You're
So
not
Moin, did
communicating,
you
bro.
talk
You're
to
not
Ali?
communicating. He's not
Okay.
communicating.
Then that's a problem here, right? So that's a team problem. So you guys get to communicate it each other well. So
If you
Moin,
have
you are the
questions,
lead.
contact me. I don't know why are you just saying during the class.
Moin. Here we are team, okay? We are working. We don't have any conflict or argument. Okay, it's okay. It's good thing you brought up and Ali brought up. It's good. It increase your productivity. No problem. Last week you didn't get a chance. Maybe Ali is quite busy because he is doing he's doing an accounting job, right? So he has a lot of work at the end of the month. It's okay, but just communicate each other. Don't be flare up. Okay, we need to get it done. You are the leader, Mohin. You are the leader. You make sure all your people are well understood. If not, they can ask here. We can also explain here. Not a problem. But let's not finger around each other. Yeah, keep good environment. We are in a good environment. We love each other. We care, share each other. We don't want to go any conflict, please. Yeah, we never have the conflict in last 6 months. So I don't want to bring anything. We're talking like this. Yeah, please respect each other. All right, so they will sort it out by themselves. Amna, can you share the screen and show everybody what are the Google Docs where we put up the papers? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Amna has done and Harsh has done a lot of work, guys. Yeah. Harsh given all the ingredients to Amna, and Amna spent a lot of hours and to make and even Aima helped out also Amna. So we are all working for each other. If you have any question, let us know, guys. Yeah. See, look at that BootCamp2 class. If you go to drive, yes, just go to BootCamp2 class or my drive. Yeah. Look at, guys, this is your, everybody have the access to this, right? Here we have assignments, code plus reading slides. So that's this is when you change. This is not good. Code plus reading slides should not be in one. Reading should be another folder. We'll do it later, not a problem. Code, data, group project. Okay. Now, Moin, which group project you are in?
I'm in 3.
3. So if you open number 3, Ali, your group is number 3, right? Here we have code plus data plus group assignment detail. Yeah. So here you have a zip file. In this zip file, Amna and Harsh, what are the things are in the zip file?
Which this is a project number 3, project number 1, project number 2. There are so many of
No. We talk about project 3, Harsh. Yeah. Don't go to 1.
So
We are at the project 3. Yeah.
So in project 3, there is a date of project 3 and docs about project 3. So when you
So
go to
what is this zip file?
zip file,
Project.
you need to unzip the file, and
Yeah,
after
what is
that
inside?
inside there is a CSV files,
Okay.
and there is a task in PDF file.
Amna, can you
So
open this? Yeah. Installation guide is there, guys. Yeah. What that Harsh is. Harsh, please don't give doc and PPT. Give PDF and send a doc and PPT to Amna. But
okay.
when you bring it here, just put PDF, please. Yeah. Okay.
So it's a
PPT. Yeah, the PDF. Good job. Yeah. So this is a PDF for movie. What is movie?
It's a movie set
Recording?
task. Yeah. No,
Okay,
no.
good.
It's
a task.
it's a task. Open it.
Okay.
Can you
PDF.
open it, please? Yes. So there is a project number 3 movie set, and there is a task written by whole task. So you need to follow the questions and find the answers and conclusions in your Jupyter notebook. And can you open a CSV file too, please?
Okay. So far, Ali, Moin, your team do not have any questions. So all things is clear now here, right? We don't want to walk you through Harsh, don't walk them. That's a project, right? So as long as they have the documents, they have the notebook, they have everything, that's all. Then they will be working on it. So my purpose is every group lead, look into the documents, please, and see if anything missing. Reach out to Amna, reach out to Harsh, Sumit, or myself, not a problem. Plus, make sure that you will pick up the.
Ishaq, I have.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sumit.
Sir, Rishad, I have one suggestion.
Go ahead.
Amna, can you open group 3, group 3, uh, group code plus data, open. Yeah.
That's why we were there. Yeah.
So why is SQL installation Windows doc is kept over here? I don't understand. It's altogether a separate topic. Why this installation document is kept under group 3?
Guys,
It
we're
should
not
be
talking about
under
this right
separate
now
folder.
because we're trying to learn, and then you guys are arguing about these small steps. Like this is not like important right now. We want to learn. Can we move on to learning?
Yeah, I mean, we are here to learn, of course. Just give a couple of seconds, please. Okay, because a lot of people have questions, right? I myself is not clear. This is learning, right?
Okay.
Okay, so this doc is Sumit.
So
We given
remove this SQL.
no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Sumit, we given this documents for their understanding in each group project, so they can refer to this document.
Okay. Fine.
Instead of putting somewhere, then they will struggle. Each group
Okay.
project we put this document.
Okay. Fine.
So we have
Then that
code
is
plus data. Okay, Ali, you are clear? Ali, you are clear? All right. So Ali, if you're clear, Wasik, you are clear. Aimai, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Aimai, everything is all right in the group project?
Yeah, we had a meeting this week and we discussed our project, so we're good to go.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Moin, sorry, we took your time, and you go ahead and learn and ask question if you want to. Harsh, over to you. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm giving you a last revision one, then we'll start from cloud computing and traditional computing. So
So now, why we are going to cloud computing?
cloud computing means AWS. What is AWS? How AWS works?
No,
And
did we do something on MySQL? What we have this fun for just installing this, and that's all, and start new topic, which is AWS.
okay, so shall I close it?
No. I'm asking question to you. So, Harsh.
After
It
this installation revision,
We have nothing, no notebook practice or anything in the SQL front. Are we
no,
running
we
some
do.
command? We
We
do.
do. We do so many of things like connectivity of AWS SQL and creating a relational database and in AWS, and after that integrate to Jupyter Notebook, and a whole thing will move into the AWS. Means whole data, whatever we are working on local host, we will work on AWS. So that we are going to do in this week.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after that, when you are done with your installation of SQL installation, then when you done with installations, you need to open your SQL workbench and set up your server. Okay, like you already did it, like local root server and everything. And this is a step, I guess, where you're stuck. So import your converted MySQL data in schema and export to database. So whatever CSV file you converted, let me copy this so that you can understand. So this is a CSV to SQL. So you need to do a load file, and whatever data you have, just 1 second. This is my data of electronics da.csv. I select this and I got this data. And after that, you need to convert it in SQL. So come here. You can check it out that this is a SQL. This is a CSV file, and after that you are converting into a SQL. Click over here, and whatever data table name you want to give in your database, you can write it down so that you can
We already did this last class.
yeah,
We-
I'm I am just giving you a setup, yeah, because you didn't show me this. Many one didn't do this, that's why I'm showing you. And then you need to download this, okay? And after downloading this, you need to import this whole thing in your schema. So these are the steps. So you need to follow it out. Okay, I give you a whole setup of steps here, how you can import and export your data in your schema in your database, and in what you need to write in your Jupyter notebook, and how you can connect your MySQL to Jupyter notebook, and here is your commands. So like that you need to follow it out. Okay, in this you have any doubt?
Why can't we just import the CSV to the workbench itself? Because that's what I did.
You have a CSV data. If you see last time we already um, discussed with this, why I am doing this, to work with SQL database. That's why we are converting. If you want to work with CSV, you can work, no issue in that. But if you want to work with SQL, so you need to follow these steps. Okay, so shall I start with AWS?
So, Main, you got the answer? Main, you got your answer?
Yeah, yeah.
Good. Okay. Thank you. Okay, Harsh.
Okay, so first of all, we'll understand about AWS, and after that, tomorrow we'll start our session. But before that, how we can do registration in AWS so that we can work with AWS RDS, uh, so that we can work with. I will give you whole instructions. Okay, so let's start it with here. Okay, uh, do you know what is storage we are working on? Like on servers. Here is my PC. Okay, in PC I'm writing a code here, right? There are so many of code I'm writing here, and after that I will deploy somewhere. For that I need, one second. Uh, just give me a moment, please. Okay, so this is my system, operating system. This is my operating system, right? So in this operating system, like you can say that it's my local PC, and this is my Windows. Okay, so this is my Windows, and here I am writing some kind of code, uh, build my website in my system, and after that I want to work with my database. Okay, so first I completed with my code work, then I work with my database. Okay, like you can see that I wrote one command or build a website in Python, and after that I started my connectivity with SQL in my Python. Okay, and after that I want to deploy some, I want a server so that I can deploy somewhere. Okay, so this is my code. This is my, you can see that whole code or script, Python script. Okay, here this is my, after Python script, this is my database, and here this is my, you need some server. Okay, so here is my server. Now there are not even Python script. I have a different of I have one more thing. Just suppose there is a front end. There's a front end, and after that, there is some, you can say that machine learning. I'm not talking about machine learning because it's already there, Python script. Okay, and so many of things like image contain and everything. But you can, if you're working, you can notice that Python have different server. Okay, database have different server, and front end have different server. Now we required each server for each thing, right? Let me show you what server I'm talking about. So this is my Jupyter Notebook command. So you can check it out. This is a 888, right? Now this is my database. You can check it out. There is a database, and there is a different server, localhost of 3306, different port. Sorry, similar server but have different port, right? 3306. There is also a similar server, but you have different port number. Uh, this is your 4 times of 8. Okay. Now, same with your front end, there is a different port number. Same with your image container. Same with your another, means if you go in deep, so there is a different port numbers in your same similar server. Okay. So this, one second. So this server, this server contains your everything, right? This is in middle, and rest connected with this server. Okay, server is what? Your system. Okay, server is what? Your system. Now this is your front end connected with your server, database connected with your server, Python script connected with your server, right? So this is your server where I am deploying my everything what I am doing. Like if I am working with Python script, so I need to deploy somewhere, so that uh, where I am deploying there, so that users can check it out my program. Okay, just like Jupyter Notebook. So if I am just like this website, so this is also somewhere in server. Okay, and here we are using our website. So this thing you clear, right? What is server? In this, you have any doubt? What is server? Hello, hello.
Yes, it is
Nope.
clear. It is clear.
Yeah. Okay. Now coming up to the types of system where we are working on our systems. Okay, so this is a traditional storage, means traditional servers. This is the cloud computing servers. Okay, so in traditional time, like we have a website, and we have secondary backup, we have disk. This is our hardware things. Okay, so for everything we have hardware, just like you have a script, for that you have a different hard disk. Okay, you have a front end, you have a different hard disk, so it takes a lot of space. Okay, uh, in traditional time when we deploy our project, so we deploy in a individual servers, and in that servers we need to buy extra services, just like extra database, and then VPN server, then so many of things, then we combine together in one server, connect with one server, and then we work together. In cloud computing, everything is on your internet. Okay, and in internet, what I'm saying, that internet means in that there is servers, there's a virtual desktop, there's a software platforms, there is application, there is storage data. Okay, so we don't need to store, or we don't need to work with our store our hard disk. So that we were working a traditional basis, But in cloud computing, we need to just pay for one service, just like for servers we are using. Then you are working on virtual desktop, then you are working on software platform, then you're working on application. So for that, you don't need to pay differently, but you need to pay what you are using. Okay, what you are using, but AWS providing you at one platform. Okay, like database port, database server, it already given by AWS, or if you are using another cloud computing, so that you don't need to combine and you don't need to assemble each thing in a similar server. What you just need to do, here's your internet, go to the AWS, and whatever subscription you have, just pay for different services, and you will get it out at one platform. So that is a cloud computing. Okay, so I hope you got it, what is cloud computing and what is traditional computing. If you have any doubt, please you can ask. It's a storage basically. So if you have any doubts, so please you can ask. Hello,
No confusion.
Ali, Amna, Aima,
No question.
Muin. Okay, Rahman, do you have any doubt?
Quick question. So when you're on the cloud, you don't have a need for a server?
We need a server. Let me show you. See, this is my AWS where I'm logging, right? Here I have a different services. Here I have EC2, which is a virtual server. In this virtual server, I can do anything what I want to do. So in brief, you don't require to buy a different server. You just need to log in cloud computing or AWS, and then the services given by automatically by AWS. So whatever servers you required given by AWS. So you don't need to have a different server. Got it?
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Anyone else? Abaz, Firoz. Shall I move ahead now?
Good.
Okay. So what is the advantages of traditional computing? So okay. So first of all, we'll just understand about advantage of traditional computing. Then after got some points of AWS, then we'll talk about what is the advantage and disadvantage of cloud computing. Okay. So in advantage of traditional computing is it's a traditional computing system have been around of decades. So it gives you performance characteristics, optimization techniques, and best practice because it's a traditional one. Mainly, if obviously traditional computing is it's a scalability, it gives you infrastructure, it gives you a talent pool, securities, general purpose. We can use in a general purpose, and we can use in a broad software ecosystem. Disadvantages: power efficiency and bottlenecks means you require a CPU which is not power efficient as specialized hardware, so that it's a disadvantage. And it's a architecture which is data transfer between memory and CPU becomes a limited factor. Okay, so that is only a disadvantage. But mostly we are switching into AWS. Okay, so in this we are going to understand about AWS introduction. Okay, so this is AWS provides broad and deep services to support any cloud workload. So here is points. So this is my deployment and administration. Here is my application services. Under application services, I have compute, storage, database, and in that we have a networking and then AWS global infrastructure. So this is a whole system of your AWS. Okay, I am coming to the basically it trusted by enterprises around the world and used by governments agencies also. Okay, so why enterprising choosing AWS? So here is a replacement. Okay, so basically it gives you at one time, with one internet you got e-services. That is why everyone's switching into the AWS. Okay, now I am going to the main point so that we can
Harsh,
understand. Yes,
Harsh, please
yes.
stay on the slide while you are explaining because I see that slide is getting fluctuated here and there. So whatever
Okay,
thing you are explaining, please stay on that slide. Okay.
okay, okay. Sure,
So So to
no
everyone,
issue.
just while Hers is managing the slides, so why we are just understanding the brief of AWS, because we don't want directly you guys to just give a kick start of a sequel through AWS approach. Okay, so we are connecting. There are multiple ways to work on Jupyter Notebook and use SQL queries, learn SQL. First approach is we download some client which you already downloaded, MySQL Workbench, okay, and then you start
हेलो हाँ बोल
uploading some data and then working.
यार मेरी ना
Okay,
बात हुई थी क्या उसे
Vasik,
कहते हैं
you need to be on mute.
ये अब्दुल्ला अब्दुल
Vasik,
से बात
Vasik,
हुई
please be
यासीन
on
कह रहा है
mute.
मैं 9 बजे free हूँ। तो मतलब ना तू जैसे फ्री होता है ना तो उसने मुझे कहा कि तू उसामा की तरफ आ जा।
Vasik,
I put
can
you mute
yeah,
now. Go ahead.
okay. So
Don't worry.
okay, then the next approach is the AWS approach, cloud approach. Since the next class that you will be going through is through cloud only, then future is cloud only. So we will be discussing both the approaches. Don't worry, we'll be working on the basics. We'll learn SQL. These are just we just want to close all the installation problems, all the installation things within these two classes, whatever we have so that we are good to go with the sequel thing which you guys want to learn. Okay. So, Harsh, you can just, you can just be on one slide, just explain individual items a bit slowly so that everybody gets at least the basics of AWS. Anyways, Irshad will be repeating. So just give the basic and then you can move on to the AWS connection for Jupyter Notebook, whatever you have done. Okay. Yeah. Over to you, Harsh.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
basically, first of all, you need to understand what broad and deep services to support we are using in AWS. So there is a deployment and administration. Okay, means whatever we are doing in a AWS. So at one click, we got deployment services, we got administration services, we got application services, and in application services, we are working on compute, then storage, then database. Okay. After that, you have a networking, and in that networking you got a whole infrastructure. This whole thing provided by AWS global infrastructure. So this is your, I don't know what is the problem here, one second. So this is your infrastructure. So this is when you work on AWS, so like that you got a user interface. Under that you can just check it out. There are so many of services, so many of solutions provided by AWS. Okay. Just like launch a virtual machine, register a domain, start a development project, build a web app. So this is already set up, created by AWS, so that you don't need to assemble each services in one server. Here is your one server. You just need to work under the AWS. It gives you whole services, just like it's easy to go. Okay. So this services comes under the AWS global structure. Now, how rapid pace of innovation was there? So since inception AWS, here is a EBS. So these are the services which is innovate by AWS, which assemble system created by the developers, but it's not required now because of AWS. It is innovated by AWS so that each services uh, related to development, networking, and deployment given by AWS, so that developers don't have to worry about it. Okay. Now there's so many of features and coming up the new features in EC2 and everything. So here is regions. There's a 10 regions now, 26 availability. There are zones which is covered by AWS infrastructure. So these companies are using AWS, Samsung, and Pfizer, Unilever, HTC, Sega, Newsweek, Tata Motors, Toshiba, and so many. Okay. Now here is government agencies and government agencies using this AWS and educational institute also, that is NASA, PBS, and Multnomah County, and so many. Okay. Now AWS is the overwhelming market share leader with more than 5 times the compute capacity in use than the aggregate total of the other 14 provider. So this is market captured by the AWS. Okay. So okay, so here is the infrastructure, or you can say that who are entrepreneurs getting this profit 4 into more reliable and one for the cost on premises infrastructure on reducing downtime 72% and 70% savings by the entrepreneurs. That's why everyone chooses AWS because it's reliable on cost. Okay. Now coming up to the next one, that is architected for enterprise security requirements. So there is some securities which is certified by AWS CloudTrail. That is so these are the certificate which have AWS. Sorry. So these certificates have AWS. AWS this certificate just like ISO, Prisma, ISA, and SOOC, then so many of validate certified of which is secure, which is ensure that AWS is secure. So that's why we are using AWS system. So here is one more thing, that is enterprise can't afford to be slow. So there is a old infrastructure which I already told you about, traditional infrastructure in weeks. Now in AWS infrastructure there is a infrastructure which comes under the minutes. Okay. So in traditional one, what we are doing, it gives you a server request, and then we build this line by line of infrastructure. But in AWS, you can see that it's a predefined infrastructure given by AWS, just like in dev, production, and then you are building 1,000 servers, then removing a server, deploy your PV data warehouse, then shut down. Everything changes with this kind of eligibility by the help of AWS. Okay. Now, what culture of innovation experiments often and fail without risk? See, on low cost, you got everything, and you can do your development experiment. You can uh, do more innovations things with low cost, because if there is high in outcome and low in budget we are investing, so it is very efficient. until unless we are investing for experiments millions and getting and failures of our experiments of different you can say that artificial agencies and machine learning algorithms and so many of stuffs. So that's why we are not using traditional, because if we are going to experiment with traditional on development, so we need to expand so many of $1 million. But in AWS you don't need to expand so many of $1 million. You can just give a low cost investment, and you can do your experiments and everything. And one more thing, it is very liable that you don't need to assemble each and everything on individual services, because AWS solve this problem very efficient way. Okay. Now there is many enterprises worry that these are only two choices. So build a private cloud and rip everything out and move to AWS. So there is a private cloud, and number two, you need to do in out and move to AWS. So there is a two choices. Okay, one way is private and another way is public. Now here, good news is that cloud isn't an all or nothing choice. So in corporate data centers, you do you what you need to do. There is a AWS server. So there is a cloud sources, and there is a another corporate sources, just like you are developers. Okay, and AWS have a cloud sources, and both, if both are integrate to each other, then it will gives you an output. Okay, efficient output. So there's a whole everything provides here, and skills persons are there, skill resources are there, and both combine, you got an output. Here what activity is going on, there is integrating AWS with your existing on premises infrastructure. So that is active directory, network configure, encryption, backup appliance, and your apps on premises. Now, what AWS gives you, this corporate data centers. So these are users and access rules, your private network, encryption of systems like S3, RDS. We are going to use RDS. In RDS, you got different database, uh, relation database systems in RDS, and we are going to work in it. And there's a HSM. There are so many of backups provided by AWS, and in data center, corporate data center, this backup are there, encryptions are there, network configurations are there, active directories are there, and this two things when connected to each other, you got an cloud system. Now there is a help customer manage sources environment, that is a single pane of glass. So here is your one system, like Amna asked me that we need an external server. No, we don't need an external server. We have one server like PC. Through the help of that, we can control in AWS, and we can ask a support of whatever data centers they have. Okay. In this, do you have any doubt? Hello. Shall I move ahead? In this, do you have any doubt? Hello. I am audible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So here is your yes. So here's your what are enterprises using AWS for? So here is the answer. Why enterprises using AWS for? Before that, why enterprises choosing AWS? So you got an answer that enterprises choosing AWS because to reliable on cost. They don't need to invest so much of money. Instead of that, they can just register on AWS and start their work on cloud. Okay. Now, why what are enterprising using AWS for? Now, what kind of things enterprises using AWS for? So here is an answer. that for apps and development and testing of their apps, big data they have and HPC they have. Now for storage and backup, so that they don't need to work on their backups, they AWS have their own services for storage and backup, so that enterprises don't need to build their own backups. There is a mobile and social apps they can develop by AWS. There is a disaster recovery is also data recovery they given by AWS, and virtual desktops are there so that we can work on virtual desktop just like EC2. So that's why enterprises use cases on AWS working for AWS. Okay. Now there is a entire data center migrations, just like Netflix also migrate their data center to the AWS. There's a News International, there is a hotels and resorts Kempinski, there's a Dow Jones. So these are the famous companies who have huge data. We know already that Netflix have huge data, so Netflix also move into AWS. So obviously AWS gives so many of ease to handle a database. Data, sorry, not a database, data. Okay, so here is an enterprise application. So what kind of enterprise application are there? That is Oracle, SAP, Microsoft. Uh, we are also using an MySQL also, and so many of different third parties applications are there. So that's why we are using an AWS. Now, development and test environment. So here is some scenarios we are following on AWS, which I already given you a presentation manually. So here is a thing that there is a developers in EC2. There is a source code repository, means whatever we are developing through the help of developers like we developers. Okay, we are working on AWS, deploying on EC2. There is a RDS. We are going to work on RDS, okay, in database. And after that, there's a build queue of SQS and EBS, so that is a services. And there's a auto scaling of EC2. And after that, we are working on Amazon's S3, that is a build of our project. Okay. At the end we have some kind of build output which is deployed under the Amazon S3 and so many of standards are there. So that is on demand DEV environment and demand builds automated tested environment load testing here. So this whole scenario works with AWS development and test environments. Okay, coming to the next one. In this scenario, do you have any doubt?
No.
Okay. Now, in this big data, so big data we have generation. So we have a generation. So what technologies? One second. Just give me a second, please.
Correct this slide before uploading, Harsh. So you can just go for the timing. No need to make changes, but before uploading, just correct this slide. Just go through like I think it is corrupted.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is technologies we are using in elasticity and high scalability in no upfront caps. Now you need to pay what you are using, and after that what is available on demand. So when we are using AWS, so that is very good thing in AWS that whatever we are using in AWS, we just need to pay only for those things. Okay, just like if I am using for database, not I am not using EC2, so I don't need to pay for EC2. I only pay for my database, that is my RDS. I only pay for my RDS servers. So that is a good thing in AWS. Plus, it's high scalable. You can scale as much you want, but you need to pay according to your scalability. Okay. Now, third thing, there is always available on demand. So whenever you want to demand, it will available. Okay. Now you can remove this constraint if you want to remove something. So you can remove, sorry, this whole thing comes under your constraints. Okay. So these are the problems, and this all problems removed by the AWS. And one more thing, you can remove if you want to remove your subscription. Okay, so that's a major part when you are using an AWS, so that's a good thing, I guess. So next thing is, one second. Okay, the major important part of AWS is
Sorry, Harsh, just sorry for interruption.
yeah.
Guys, do you understand what's big data is?
Yes.
Yes.
Can somebody speak out? What do you understand from big data?
It is like big data is like huge data above certain amount of when data exceeds certain amount of quantity, it is known as big data. And for processing big data, we need special tools. We cannot process it using ordinary computers or systems. So yeah, we are using different tools like Amazon, Redshift, and certain tools that we can use to process this data. Hadoop is the major tool to segregate this data into different parts and then process it in parts.
Yeah,
That is what I
good,
know.
good. Thanks, Vasu. Hadoop is not a tool; is a platform. So Hadoop is a big platform which is works
Yeah,
on
platform.
premise, not on cloud. But now people are taking a Hadoop or decoupling Oracle main big data components or platform and bringing into the AWS. But Redshift is a data warehouse on cloud. Okay, the good example is Amazon EMR. That is the replacement of, or that is the most of the time companies from MapReduce Hadoop move into EMR. And Redshift is a data warehouse. It's a work as a database. Good, guys. Good. Yeah. Carry on, Harsha. Sorry.
So there's a big data that is just we already talked about it. That is Amazon EMR. It's a Elastic Map Reduce. So when we are using managed Hadoop service, so it easily launch and customize and resize a managed Hadoop cluster. That is just like Ishad said, that it's a platform. It's a good platform to handle our data. Now here is a Amazon Redshift, which gives you a warehouse of petabyte scale. Okay, here is a data pipeline which gives you an more data among AWS services and on precise data source. So this is all about big data. Now there is a high performance computing system, that is HPC. So in HPC we are using C3 instances, but in Amazon Glacier, this is a flow of your HPC to improve network performance, SSD based platform. So this gives you an whole provide system in SSD through the help of HPC networking system. So this is our whole you can see that it's a whole system. First you need some Glacier, whatever you build it out in Amazon S3. then your grid client. So this is a combination. Now after that you are performing on any engine tier. We will perform in our project when we will going to use this AWS. So we are going to perform tier, pre-tier. Okay. There is a Dynamo DB, and after that it's elastic MapReduce. So this whole performance comes under the HPC. Now, what storage, backup, and archival works in AWS? So there's a system that there's a data center. In that data centers, there are different kind of things, just like AWS storage gateway. In AWS storage gateway, you will got to know that there's a file sharing and seamless backup of enterprise that is works under the Amazon S3. After that, we are going to work in storage backup that is Amazon Elastic Block Store, which is available on EC2. These are whole storage and backup archival tools we are will going to perform. And these are the systems. So this is a AWS system, and these are the traditional data centers. And when this both combine with each other, it gives you an whole good concept of your storage backup and archival. So that's why we are using in AWS cloud. Now there's a disaster recovery also. We got to understand how storage backup and archival work with each other through the help of tools. Now there is if you have a big company and you are working on AWS, you don't need to worry because there's a disaster recovery. They have a system so that you don't need to worry about recovery things of your database. If you lost database because of any reason, so that AWS will give you anyhow because there's a system flow. Okay. So for that, there's a system of corporate data center, which we already talk about. So there's a data centers of AWS, and there's a AWS cloud, and it will connect to each other. And this AWS Amazon S3, where we build our project, it will move into the corporate data center, and that corporate center move into the AWS storage gateway and database servers, app servers, storage volumes, and there are so many of backups are there. So it will recover your data if you lost or if you delete or drop your uh, because of any reason of your data, so we can recover that thing also. And there is a Amazon RDS. It's a relation database system, which is cross region rate replaces. So we can improve disasters recovery operations. We can read copies for cross regions application, easy migrations between regions. So let's suppose this is an one center, this is another center, and we are working on Amazon. So it will recover through the help of regions of because of different networks of AWS we have a chances of different backups we have, so that we are not losing our data. So that kind of thing also AWS providing by them. So in this, do any doubt or questions, please you can ask.
AWS does not provide the backup of your data. They provide the platform. But
Yeah, it provide a platform.
company has to make sure that they do their backup and archival lifecycle policy on the top of that one.
Yeah, it's a backup.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a backup.
Yeah. Whatever
And
data is mandated to cloud, they make 3 copies.
Yep.
But that's in the storage S3. But if any application data or anywhere else you're using the data, you need to make sure you backed up by yourself or company, based on the company policy. They won't touch your data. But if let's say worse come worse and you need the data which you landed in S3, then you need to go through proper process and you will get the data there. But they're not responsible. But they are responsible. Whatever the data they have it, you will not lose it. That's their role.
Obviously, they are not responsible, but they ensure that something around surety of at least 85 to 90% that your data is
Not 80,
secure.
99.99999 means you will never lose your data.
Yes.
In that much security they give you. 99.99s, 99.99999. Yeah. That's the KPI. Good, carry on.
Yep.
Just wanted to add, yeah.
So here is your where we are using our this AWS. So there is a web, mobile, and social apps. So in Amazon App Stream, we have HD video quality application streaming. There also we are using Amazon Web Services AWS. So there's Amazon S3 build production, and after that you have a CloudFront, and you have a Elastic load balancer. In load balancer you have EC2 Elastic load balancers, and after that you are connecting with those balancers to Amazon RDS, means relation database, and it will move into the Amazon RDS again, standby. This is a master, this is a standby. Okay. So here is a compute and render the user experience on EC2. So how it will manage? It will manage like there's an Amazon EC2, your application, and this is your Amazon App Stream, and through the help of that we are Amazon AWS, means AWS app stream gives you an stream of user experience, uh, that how much we are using an app stream. So it gives you an HD video quality application streaming, and it user captures user input to send back to the cloud and response experience across devices. So if you are using phones and different kind of devices, so that in that also you will receive a stream of AWS. Now there is a virtual desktop, which is a half of the price of premises VDI. So here we go now. So in Amazon workspaces, we don't require hardware or virtualization software. We can access through the browsers or tablet device. You can just pay out no long term commitment like 1 year, 2 year. If you want to give a subscription on monthly basis, so you can definitely do in AWS. And there is a license software given by the Amazon AWS, and it's easy to integrate with the MS Active Directory. Like so that's gives you an easy and reliability to carry your devices, and wherever you are you can use AWS. Now there's a today's cloud native application, so you can deploy and manage automatically. There's a cost awareness. There is a globally distributed, wherever you go you can reach in AWS. There is a composted and orchestrator, means you have a different kind of services provided by the AWS. You can encrypt it end to end your things. Your content follows you across devices, means wherever you are you can deploy your content and you can receive your content through the AWS. In this you have any doubt, please you can ask. Shall I move ahead now?
Yes, yes, sure.
Yeah, Harsh, just go on.
Okay. So so whatever we are building a rich feature, we are engaging our increasing line on backend services, and that's how much reliability given by the AWS. We can sync state and data across devices, offline access, customer identity, and login. You can continue your improvement based on customer usage. You can safeguard You can safeguard customer data and credentials, interact with broad set of AWS services. Now, overcome the challenge of multiple devices created by AWS. So there is a Amazon Cognito, which is fully managed user entity and data synchronized service. So this is your identity, this is your synchronization, and this is your security. And these three things given by your AWS. You need your ID, that is your password, and if you have a key given by your AWS or your password given by AWS, you just need to put it in your somewhere, and whenever you will log in, you can access your AWS. It is fast, reliable, and user engagement metrics. So, like fast means get your data within an hour. It is automatic MAU, DAU sessions, and retention reports. It gives you design and track custom app events, and data is not mined or sold by AWS. Means it is secure. Now, document sharing and collaboration, the next enterprise IT problem AWS is solving. So it solves so many of IT problems, but here is a next enterprise IT problem that is AWS solving, that is document sharing and collaboration. So when we required any kind of collaboration and we need to share some documents through the help of Amazon Zocalo, you can do it. It's a service provided by AWS. Now, how are enterprise getting started with AWS? So cloud for development and test environments. There is a reduced deployment time from weeks to days. There is a software application, and after that, you have a Oracle Enterprise application. There is a 70% reduction in operational cost. So that's how working on cloud development and test environments strategy given by AWS. There is an build new apps in the cloud. So that is financial record archiving, global deals engine, product prototype, pin design, and so many of that there, which is faster to build, easier to manage, less expensive to run, distributed architectures for high availability. So that's how AWS giving you a build new apps in the cloud. Strategy 3, which is performed by AWS, that is use cloud to make on-premises apps better. So that is app 1, app 2, app 3, and so many of apps are there. Here is AWS. This is an analysis process. This is a backup process. And whenever app 1, app 2, app 3 built by data centers, it will create a backup on Elastic, EMR, Amazon Redshift, and Amazon S3. So there's a backup and there's an analytics process also going on while we are doing our work on data centers. Now use cloud to make on premises as better. So this is strategy number 3. So just like Nasdaq big data analysis, and it export operational data to AWS for analysis process. And in Nokia, you can check it out. Big data analysis, that is 50% cost reduction with 2 into faster queries using Amazon Redshift. Now, cloud apps that integrate with
Harsh,
on-premises apps.
sorry to
Yes,
interrupt. Can you go back to the slide?
yes, sure.
Yeah. So use cloud to make on-premise app better.
Yes,
Which means these Nokia, Nasdaq, they did their application on the cloud, and
yes.
okay, okay, sure.
Now, strategy number 4 are there. So, strategy number 4 is cloud apps that integrate with on-premises apps. So, here is an AWS, and this is a data center, which is hybrid on app, and that apps gives you an AWS servers application, content and data, and integrate to Samsung data centers for financial transactions. So that's how AWS working with different cloud apps. Now here's in strategy number 5, that is migrate existing apps to the cloud. Here is you have an app which deployed on AWS. So you can migrate existing apps to the cloud app to direct AWS. So one third of servers migrate to AWS. So it saved 1.5 million. Migrated 500 web properties in
International,
5 months.
correct?
Sorry,
Yeah, for News International,
sorry,
one third
Sumit.
of their servers are migrated to AWS, correct? Am I audible?
Yes, 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 you are audible.
Yeah, so for News International, right? For News International, one
Hmm,
third of their servers are migrated to AWS, correct?
exactly.
Okay, okay, okay.
Now there's a one more Unilever company that is migrated 500 web properties in 5 months. New product websites live in 2 days versus 2 week. So
What is the
that's
source
how.
of these all these findings? What is the source, Harsh? Is this global? You talking about U.S. market? Are you talking about what region? What is the
So,
source? Basically, these are good numbers, but are these true number? Because
I
Bristol,
don't
where
know.
I've been working, they are focused on AWS as well as Azure. But
Hmm.
here you're saying they reduce 60 hours, 60% reduction in costs by simulating their clinical research, right? Clinical trial simulator. Yeah. Is this really true, or you
Uh,
just
this data given by estimated data given by AWS.
okay?
So
Okay, so it's on
yeah,
AWS cloud. Okay, got it.
yeah,
Then we have
this
source,
is
right? Okay.
yeah. So this is given by AWS. This is not given by any YouTuber, or I didn't search on Google. It is directly given by AWS.
Yeah. So guys, understand this is a marketing slides. Every cloud try to sell their services by adding references point and adding, the value of the cloud. If you talk to Azure, they will be having their own marketing slides. So we are not getting the we are not getting you these numbers. These are numbers from the marketing slide from the Amazon or with the cloud service provider. So they put up these numbers. They might have the source. Okay, we are just trying to show you what is the different use cases, what are the different companies who achieve when they migrate their platform. Here in what Harsh is talking about, apps and the infrastructure, most of the companies they get benefited. That's all. But we deliver this message in these slides. Yeah.
Now, all in strategy number 6, that is Netflix. So hundreds of applications supporting 33 millions plus global members, and there is a 10 thousands of EC2 instances in multiple regions. EC2 means there is multiple virtual computers. So that is instances in multiple regions and zones. At peak consumes one third of US internet bandwidth. Now here's an spotlight customer, Dow Jones New Intel. So that is an AWS. This is a servers which is comes under the AWS, from over 40 data centers down to 6. Planning to migrate 3,000 apps by January 2015. Savings 100 million over 3 years. So this is a evaluate infrastructure versus AWS. So this increasing like good percent. Now it moves into the cloud. So that's how it works on Spotlight customer, Don John's News Intel. Now we are talking about advantage of cloud computing and disadvantage of cloud computing. So what is advantage are? So that is cost efficiency, of course. That is scalability. That is pay as you go. Automatic updates. That is anywhere you can access through the help of internet. AWS shows mobility. That is disaster recovery. Many cloud providers offer backup and disaster recovery solutions, reducing the need of business to invest in their own redundant systems. Resources management, definitely it works on resources management. So multi-tenancy allows for efficient resources utilization, as resources can be allocated or deallocated rapidly based on demand. And it gives you an innovation. Rapid provisions of resources can accelerate development and testing cycles. Whatever, how much we are testing, it improves our quality. So that thing given by cloud computing, AWS. Now, disadvantage of cloud computing, that is the downtime. Being internet based, uh, because it requires an internet, so obviously servers, internet providers, if there is an issue in internet providers, so it gives you a downtime. Security concerns, so storing sensitive data off-site may pose risk, especially if the cloud service provider does not employ robust security measures. So yes, 99.99% are there, but there's 0.1% we need to concern about it. uh, Third one is data transfer cost. So that is moving large amount of data into or out of the cloud can be costly and time consuming. There's a limited control. The infrastructure, software stake, and operational capabilities are owned and managed by the provider, which might limit customization and control for businesses. There's a data so sovereignty issues, that is stored in another country is subject to the country's laws, which might pose privacy and legal concerns. Performance, internet connectivity, and bandwidth can affect the performance of application in the cloud. Now there's a vendor lock-in, that is migrating to another provider or back to an premises solution can be complicated due to difference in protocols, APIs, and data structure. So when we are migrating to another provider, it can be effect on standards of what kind of vendor gives you an a vendor gives you an standards like protocols, their rules and regulations. Now there's a hidden cost. So while cloud can be cost effective, sometimes there are hidden costs or pricing models that can lead to unexpected bills. So this is whole about cloud computing of AWS. In this, do you have any doubt you can ask?
So, one thing I would like to say, if nobody has the doubt.
No.
Okay. Okay, guys. So, the reason why we have listed these so many things about AWS, how the companies are using, how we are strategizing, where we are using, and the importance of AWS basically. The reason why we are showing this, these slides or this background of AWS is we want to show that how we are using now, how we are going to use AWS. We have done SQL bench as well, which is the traditional approach. Okay. Now here is the cloud approach to connect Jupyter Notebook to SQL. Okay. So you will get to know all these advantages. I know it's a lot of theory in these slides, but you will get to know all the advantages within the exercise that we will be doing itself. What are all the advantages that we have discussed in slides, you will just come to know. Okay. So Irshad, is there anything that you would like to put that, since you are an expert in cloud and this is the second approach that we are following, so do you like to add something to it, all the gist of this slide with your experience?
No, I'm fine. But only thing is, we should focus on data and databases, not other components like application, like infrastructure. Those
Yeah,
things are
we will be
not
strict. Yeah,
required
Irshad,
for this audience.
we will be we will just be restricted to database only. This we wanted to give this background of AWS because all of a sudden, if we are installing, if we are doing something in an environment or network or platform, we should know something about it. Why companies are moving, where we are doing. So that is why we have this small session. In one go, we just give the background of AWS. We will give the slides, and everybody can go through it. And then now, Harsh will be discussing the how to connect Jupyter Notebook to through AWS environment. And over to you, Harsh. Okay, you can give the
Yeah,
slider, and
I
you
agree
can
with you.
show the presentation. Yeah, yeah.
I agree with you. This is good basic 101 about cloud. Everybody should know a little bit about cloud, and this is the base background. But our more focal point is more towards the data. Okay, I've seen very less examples of the data. For example, which companies move their big data or those kind of platform into the cloud. Those kind of example, I would like to put these uh, to add in particularly this audience, because they will be talking about data analytics, Python. They will be talking about data science, Genai. We focus on most of the examples for data related, because people who will be answering them or questioning them, sorry, in the interview, they will be on the data side. So, and for example, if no, today we show them good thing about cloud, that's a base background. But it would be great if we have show them which company put their huge data into the cloud by reducing the cost. We didn't cover that. We cover
Sure, sure.
application, we
We'll
cover
give that.
infrastructure. Good to know. Yeah. Yeah.
We
See,
will include
our
that,
cloud is a very
Irshad. We
big
will
thing. Okay,
surely
this is not
include that. Correct.
okay. Got it.
Now there's a
Yeah.
setup thing. Before, because we are, I will show you setup by tomorrow. But before that, you need to sign in your system. So you need to access on free tier in your AWS. So what you need to do before coming tomorrow, you need to do this one. So you need to create your own account that is free tier. For that, you need to come up in sign into the console in AWS
Most
dot
of them
m.
have AWS account. Most of them. Only
Okay.
Moeen, Awaz, uh, um Firoz. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, I have
these
account.
you have it. Very good. So Moeen, do you have it?
Yeah, remember we did it all together.
Okay, so Moeen also does have. So who do not have the account? All right, so it's okay. Yeah, you can show them. Maybe somebody. Ali, do you have it? Ali is there. All right, yeah. You can slightly show them if somebody want to get into AWS console. They have to set up the credentials with
So there is a
AWS. Yeah,
aws.amazon.com
correct.
slash
Go ahead.
console.
Go ahead.
You need to come up here. After that, there's a sign in to the console. Here you will get this whole sign in system. But if you don't have, so create a new AWS account. And after that, you need to give email address and account name, whichever, and then you need to sign in free tier. You don't need to pay anything, but it will ask some kind of payment method. So it, I guess, different country have a different amount, just like $1, 1 rupee, 2 rupee, or $1. So different country have different currency in a very few amount. So it will deduct it out, and that's it. You are good to go. So if you didn't, so please you can carry on with your sign up for AWS on free tier. So this is my session. If you have any doubt, or if you want to ask about setup things, so please you can ask.
Uh, Irshad, I have one question for you.
Quick question.
Harsh has
Yeah,
already
quick question.
prepared the RDA.
Quick question, Smith. Yeah, go ahead, Smith. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Smith, go ahead.
Yeah, Harsh has already prepared the RDS documentation. Okay, he has already
Very
step
good.
by step
Very good.
instruction built in over there. So can he share in the class and they can do the installation by going through this step by step instead of wasting time tomorrow. Whoever have issue, we can discuss it in yesterday's class. That's what I would suggest. I'm open to your
No, no, that's good.
feedback.
These are all these are all intelligent, good students. They are not basic learners, so they are up to that one. Just share the documents and that given them assignment. This is the assignment. This is the document. Please go ahead and create the RDS. They have challenges. We'll discuss in the tomorrow's class.
Let me show
Harsh,
you
can
a
you share your
documentation.
screen and go through the? Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, just walk them through, and they will do by themselves. It's a very straightforward actually, and I think they are capable of. They will do it by themselves. Not a problem. The
So this
only
is
point which I'm making is when you have RDS. So which RDS we are asking them to install? MySQL, MS SQL, Oracle,
MySQL
MySQL. Okay,
RDS.
MySQL RDS. Yeah, show them hashtag. And then we
So
will ping this MySQL through notebook, right?
yes,
So notebook which is sitting in our local laptops or notebook which is in EMR.
no, in local laptops.
Okay, okay, got it. So that will be
Yep.
able to connect, right? Okay, I got it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the right thing. Yeah, go ahead.
So this is your AWS login. When you log in, you got this whole UI AWS. After that, you got this services. On services, you got this RDS. Under this RDS, you need to create a database. So when you click over here, create database, you got this whole system of RDS. Under this, it will ask you engine type. So you need to click on MySQL. Then you need to create your DB clusters, master username, and create your password. After that, what you need to do, give a public access so that we can, if you are giving a private access, so some challenges will be there. In private, we need to do some another things, but instead of that, click on public access. And after click on public access, click on create new VPC security. Now you created your database instance here. After creating on database instance, it takes around 5 minutes. So don't come up with hesitation that it creating us so much of it taking us so much of time. Instead of that, wait for 5 minutes. You got this available status at least 5 to 10 minutes. After that, click on whatever database you created. When you click on database instance, you got this VPC security group. Click over here, VPC security group. Now, when you enter on VPC security, you got this inbound rules. In inbound rules, you need to click on inbound rules, and here is an edit inbound rules. After that, you need to create your inbound rules. In that, what you need to do, you need to switch your type of security group rule ID to SSH to all traffic. Now on source, you need to click on anywhere and save there on rules. Save your rules. Open your workbench. After that, open your workbench. Then here you need to write connection name. There is your host name. I will edit this and give it to you. Connection name is your anything, whatever connection name you want to write, you can write it out. And then host name, you need to give a host name here. So this thing I will show you where you can execute in PPT. access your SQL. In SQL, you can control that AWS relation database in your SQL. Give a command, and when you run this command, you will got whole data. Similar, whatever SQL electronics or wherever you connected your SQL data, you just need to edit your host server. Instead of local host, you give a AWS host, then your database, whatever database you created. So here I imported my database just like I showed you before in import and export of my schemas. You need to write your database name, username, then password. That's it, you are good to go. And you can just run your command by data.head. When you write your data equals to pd pandas.read SQL, now you can write your data.head. When you write it out, you got this output. That's it.
So, Main, what's your question you have? You
When
said
I'm trying to sign up,
1904.
yeah, it's giving me an estimated monthly cost of $1,904.10.
Are you spinning any services, or where you getting this? Can you share the screen? Because they don't charge you anything. They just validate your account through getting authentication in your account, and they hold $1 and release it. They don't charge you even.
Yeah, let me show it.
Okay. And whenever you spin any service, guys, make use of free tier. Pick up the free tier only. Otherwise, you will pay by hour basis, which is a lot of money, and they will charge your credit card.
Can you let me in with my other account?
Yes, I mean, I admit you. Yeah, also we just want to make sure that nobody get charged this much money. Yeah, so you just guide them. And next week, tomorrow, remind me, we show them the dashboard where they can monitor their billing. If they get charged, immediately they should bring down the services. Yeah. All right. You pick up MySQL, right?
Click on free tier.
Yeah, I think you exactly.
Wait,
That's where you.
Oh, this
one? Free tier, yes.
Okay.
Now it gone.
You use the production one. That was it giving you the that's what I exactly.
Now it will not work. It will not going to work.
No, what do you mean it's not going to work?
Means it just shows you estimated monthly cost, but if you read it out below, there is you can just check it out that it's this billing estimated based on demand by AWS, and
yeah, but it should be zero.
Yeah.
Why the instance cost is coming from? Because you pick up free tier, right? Yeah. Can you go slowly a bit? Go up. Okay, this is good. Standard. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, here. Fine. Free tier. Yeah. Go down. You use your database. Your name is fine. What is the SSD you are putting up? 20. Your storage. Yeah. Just keep it as it is. Yeah, it's fine. GP2 is fine. 20 is fine. Okay. Don't account EC2, RIP computer source, IPv4. After you create default VPC, yes, fine. Default public, yes, is good. Create now. Yeah. So yeah. So that's all. Okay, so it's estimated cost. It's not based on your cost. It's estimated cost. If you keep the storage for a month, and if you keep the DB instance running for a month, this will be estimated cost. But you're not going to make it running all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you can use look at that DB2 micro, DB T3 micro, that you charge 750 hours of Amazon is a single availability zone. That is actually free for 12 months. Yeah. But I would still suggest when you create RDS, go through this exercise within a week or two weeks time, and then make sure you remove the RDS. Whatever the data you're gonna put it, don't put in the RDS SSD. Put in the S3. If you put in the RDS, that storage is very expensive. They will charge you something. So just use the S3, which is free. No problem. Okay. Anything else? Everybody clear? We have a good session today, and I like the slides, and I like the flow, and I like the intensity. Everybody is really hungry to learn. Guys, keep the good work, and soon, inshallah, we'll meet our goals. Yeah. Yeah. Over to you, Harsh. Yeah.
Okay,
Smith,
so
thanks for coming in here and adding values. Yeah.
okay, so tomorrow we'll check it out our projects in through the help of AWS, Jupyter, and SQL. Till then, set up your things in
Harsh,
AWS. And yes.
yeah, sorry. So what I would like that tomorrow's session, right? Since what I would like is once
Hmm.
everybody has installed, this is the last installation, I think, for this project. You don't need any more installation, right? All the installation part is completed,
Yes.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I would like you to
Yes.
show the basics of SQL, the basic commands. Okay. Don't directly jump to the project. Just take one already existing file and show all the basic commands in that Jupyter notebook so that everybody at least learn the fundamentals of SQL, which Moin was also pointing out that he wants to learn the basics of SQL. Then we can go to the project and other things. Just start slowly with the basics, and everybody will gel up with the fundamentals. And then next week, probably, we can go with a slightly one level up exercises. Okay, just take the class very mildly tomorrow on the basics of SQL. Okay,
Yeah. Just so
through
Sumit, good point.
Cloud and Jupyter.
Can you walk? So Sumit, can you tomorrow give a 30, 45-minute session to the team and show them how to create database, how to create tables, rows, column, everything, just sample, and brought them into the database, and then get them some queries, basic queries, select star and all those, and give them a little bit understanding about what
Yeah.
database is and what we do, how we create the database. Show them tomorrow. You are expert in that.
Yeah.
Harsh is more on Python side. So once you complete that, maybe 40, 45 minutes, just take that time and show everybody what SQL means, what are the queries, how to run it, how to create database. Just make sure you come up with some demo and take 30 minutes to show them how we can create that. Maybe you can bring up the documents. That would be good. The basic documents. And then Harsh will take to the notebook, and he connect the notebook to this MySQL server. And then he will show the Python commands on the top of this database.
Sure, Rishad. I'll discuss with you on this point. No worries. I'll discuss it with you, and we
No.
can certainly have that
Or
demo session as
you
well.
show or
Okay.
Harsh show, it's okay,
Cool.
but show them basic understanding of SQL. That's good. Yeah.
Sure.
Most
Sure,
of them know,
Yeah,
but
we'll go
I
with the
want them
basics.
to get refreshed. Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Maybe
Okay.
we can ask the team whether they want to know
Okay.
basic or they know basic about databases. Muin, Wasik, Aima, are you guys, you want to go with create one sample database, create tables, columns, and all those, and run some queries, or you are familiar of that one? You don't want to go into that basics.
I think we should have like at least one. I don't think everybody's familiar with it.
So sorry, I didn't hear you, Muin.
I think we should have at least one session about like SQL, the whole
Exactly.
like
Okay, got it. Yeah.
fundamentals, because I don't think everyone knows. Like me and what do you call it? Imran went through it, but we just skimmed through it basically.
I got it. I got it. I have the same understanding. Yeah. So it's better to have tomorrow's session to give. And then, by the way, Sumit is the expert in SQL. Harsh, I'm not sure, but he is expert on Python.
Yeah.
They will come up with something
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
Harsh also knows the basic. Yeah. Yeah. We will come up together, not to worry, but we will have
Good.
the basic session tomorrow just by simple commands. Okay.
Good. And make sure you run these commands on the type of RDS, or maybe create use Sumit or Harsh database in your time today. And when you come
Yeah.
tomorrow, your RDS should be ready, and then show them how to create database, maybe through script or maybe manually.
Yeah.
Create a table, show the columns, rows, feed the
Yeah.
data, maybe one CSV file, upload
So
it,
where do you
feed
want,
into, and then
Irshad,
run the
in,
query.
in in SQL Workbench or RDS? Where do you prefer? In RDS or SQL Workbench? Do you want, because RDS everybody will
SQL
be
Workbench is
installing and everybody will take some time.
you can where you gonna create the database?
I was
In the SQL
thinking to work
Workbench, can you
on
do that?
the SQL Workbench because, yeah, it will be easy, I think, for us,
Fine.
because RDS everybody has to
Yeah, they will
install.
do them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
it's okay. You can create in the workbench, show them, and then they will take this document. But you can show
yeah,
them maybe next time you can share those documents, and then they will work on the
correct.
SQL server, which is on cloud. Yeah. But give them two
Yeah,
session, because this is
okay,
good area, and I don't want
sure.
to just skip and run away from that one. By the way, I will
Sure.
get you guys one class about data science, Python for the data science, which pretty much covered by Harsh, but I will cover what you guys need only for the data science. Those few commands, or maybe Harsh can share that one. I will let him know. Yeah.
Okay. So good
We are
class.
not
I
just
think
leaving a
it was
SQL
very
like that.
informative
We
class.
will go to SQL.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Harsh. Thank you, team. It's time to take
Okay.
lunch. Take your lunch.
Thank you.
If you have any question, reach out to me.
Bye
I'm
bye.
available. Okay. And have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Guys.
Bye, Amna.